Hey, Nesters, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday? Back on our regular, well, such as it is day.
Right?
Welcome to Fight to Flight with Kelly and Mike. I am Mike Hess, the COPD dude and respiratory therapist.
I am Kelly Becker, family nurse practitioner, obesity specialist and advocate, wife, stepmother, daughter, friend.
And imminent rural health expert.
Well, imminent rural health novice.
I think big. What can I say?
Right.
So to catch everybody up, if you are new to the program, we started this show a couple of months ago now. I think this is about episode. I think it's 8, 9, or 10. So we've done a few of these. Our initial goal with this was to get everybody or document our journey because as we both specialize in chronic health conditions, we have been somewhat lax in our own health, our own physical health, our own mental health over the past couple of years. Things are just kind of as things do, and then the pandemic hits, and everything kind of goes haywire. So um, we wanted to kind of share our journey back to better health as we're starting to walk the path that we talk on a lot. And then this summer in our happy place up north in Michigan, one of our favorite place on the whole planet, Kelly got the job opportunity of her dreams.
Right. I'll be one of the nurse practitioners at the Rural Health Center on Beaver Island.
As John Linnell, welcome in, John, says, not a rural health nurse, an island girl. So,
Or is that not my name, right? But anyway, I'm excited to be Island Girl. Yes. I've dreamed of it my whole life.
So, Kelly is moving up there again to our happy place. Myself, I'm going to be holding down the fort here in Kalamazoo for a while. Our youngest is starting high school. And for those of you who may not know, we have this thing in Kalamazoo called the Kalamazoo Promise, where if you graduate from Kalamazoo Public School, they will pay for most, if not all, of your college tuition. If you go all the way through, they pay for the college tuition for any public university or college in the state of Michigan, as well as there's a handful of private schools, and there's also an apprenticeship program now. They pay for, I think it's up in Grand Rapids, you can go be a trades apprentice, which is
It's
fantastic.
wonderful. Yeah.
But we're 8 years in now, and it seems kind of strange to go those last four. Plus, we take Joey's mother into account. We don't want to rip him away, obviously. And he's got braces, and he's got a lot of other stuff going on. And we're still launching our older two. Emma is going in her now in her second year of college. She's been living with us for a while because the Promise, while great with tuition and fees and stuff, doesn't really pay room and board. So we've been able to show some economy there, and she's been doing that. And then Tommy is figuring out, he's waiting a little bit, having a gap year, having some. He was going to do a
Drum corps.
drum corps. Thank you. And of course, with the pandemic, it kind of wrecked that plan. So he's kind of recalculating and looking to figure out what he wants to do when he grows up. So
He's eager to be independent, earn his own
yes,
money, find his way, and on his 18th birthday get a gainful employment.
yeah, first
So
thing he
yeah,
did on his
yeah.
18th birthday was go get himself a delivery card. So that was really cool. But, again, we want to have that cushion here for them. We still want to have a nest, and we want to have the North Nest so that we have a good place to visit, which means we are going to be separate. We're going to be together separately for a while.
We're not separating.
No, no. That's why I wanted to rephrase that. We're going to be separately together or together separately. However, social from a distance. If I have any house call fans out there, well, John's out there, which is going to be a challenge. We know that there are a lot of folks in the country who have these kinds of challenges, and we're going to be working through it.
That's right. I've blocked out most of that. Right now, all I'm thinking about is what I need to learn and resources and time and healthy routines and what I need to pack. I haven't really been you know how you visualize, in sports or when you want something, and you're going toward that goal. I haven't been visualizing days without my buddy, so I don't need to get all teared up and struggle in that way. We'll find different ways to connect,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And so,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I guess when I just sat down for this program and you titled it, I thought, oh, I guess this is the last one where I live at the Best Nest permanently. And my hair's all wet from cleaning.
Been
and
working hard today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finally cleaning and packing and making it real. So,
Yeah, and that is, that was something that has been increasingly on my mind because I don't have well, we were talking about this before. I don't have, I guess, the quote unquote advantage of having a new challenge. I mean, I'm
right.
not this may sound weird or resentful or anything like that, but my operational status quo isn't changing. I mean, I'm going to be here watching the kids and all that stuff, but I too am losing my buddy. So, but I've been thinking about that a lot. We're just a lot of, we were joking around about you're taking the Rummikub with you, and it's like, well, that's our Rummikub, and it's like,
Well, it was my birthday present, I think, at 40 or something. I wanted the big number Rummikub, and that's something that I play with family that lives up there.
Unfortunately, Emma is willing to play too, so I won't have to. But we played tennis this past weekend for my birthday,
your birthday,
which was great.
Yeah, I killed him. Killed him.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
I did.
You did.
Sorry.
I mean, it was
Well, it was
like,
fun.
yeah, it was disaster. And again, pointing out how ridiculously out of shape I've let myself get. I'm not even saying I've let myself get. So it's been weighing on my mind a little bit more, and I think it has been a little bit more than you. And again, I'm not trying to be competitive, but I know I'm so competitive.
He is competitive.
But and John has a good point here that I wanted to get to in a minute anyway. I don't have the distraction of looking forward to the new stuff and looking for the excitement of, you've got your little condo up there for a while and you were able to do some shopping, you get on Amazon and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Whereas I've been a little bit more wallowy, I guess. But as John does point out, this is not the last one. And I will also go so far to say, when you said the last one from the Best Nest, we will have a nest again eventually.
Yes.
And it will be the best.
Yes.
But yes, this is the end of this season. I'm grateful to the network and the powers that be. Grateful to all of you folks. I mean, this has been a heck of a journey. And if you go back on YouTube in particular, you can catch some of the older episodes. You can kind of see a distinct change. Because the first few episodes we kept talking about tire fires and we were run down and but this, as many transitions are, it's an opportunity for some exciting changes. Welcome in Ray Reddington, by the way. And I think the tenor of the tone has changed, or the tenor of the show has changed.
Right.
Because this is exciting. I mean, I feel like I'm talking a lot this time. I guess you talk a lot of times, but I feel like
happy. My back hurts right now. That's what I'm thinking about.
You have been working hard today.
He's been spoiling me a lot, though. He's telling me how gorgeous and beautiful I am, and he's rubbing my back and shoulders. He's like soaking up every minute. So.
Well, I am. I mean, that's the thing is I know we will. Zoom chat is not quite the same. It's great.
Not the same as this.
Yeah, I know. It's great when you have. It's great for a lot of applications, teaching and conferences and things like that. It's fantastic, but it's not quite the same as this. So I have been soaking up whatever I can get. I've been looking forward to it, and I've really been enjoying it. And oddly enough, we have been a little bit more connected, I think, than when we were stressed out all the time.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's a sign of good times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the exciting opportunity from my end is Emma is already talking about, well, I want to do this project to kind of, tidy up the cat area in our basement.
Yep.
So we're looking at projects we can do. We've been kicking around, what are we going to do with the shutters? We've talked about that, and you and I have had slightly different views, but Just whether they get replaced or whether we just get painted. I don't think you have a lot of faith in my painting abilities.
They're warped and they're old. I mean, just get new ones. There are things that can be like our garage is flaking off, so that can be sanded, primed, and painted. You don't need to side it, right? You don't need to tear it down and start over. But good God, those shutters are like bananas. They're so warped. You can paint it, it's still going to be a banana. So anyway.
So we're looking at, I'm looking forward to, again, trying to teach some of the kids about that stuff and to, spread my wings a little bit more with some of the household stuff. I was talking last night on my COPD group, our weekly Zoom. I really felt like the macho man of the house yesterday because I guess over the weekend, I
Yeah.
diagnosed and repaired our dryer without having to, call in the cavalry or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to doing that kind of stuff and hopefully not being as fatigued and not that you're fatiguing me or anything, but just looking for as the song says, sometimes a change will do you good.
Right.
So
the season 2 will be everyone's new adventure. So it'll be Mike and the older kids, our young adults, launching and growing in their independence. And so hearing about that and the pride in that'll be exciting for me and hopefully viewers. And I'll be able to share exciting things, as appropriate. And maybe we'll share recipes and various fun things. And Mike and I, since we first got together and early in our marriage, have our own kind of language or things that have made us laugh that we call the lexicon.
The lexicon.
And so a lot of things have been, shared memories and, things we said or things the kids said that made us just laugh till we cry. Or your favorite thing in the whole world is to make me laugh until I bend over.
Yes, you do the the real knee slapper.
Yeah, and it's like the self-feeding laughter. So, hoping to find things like that even separately to share. We all love to laugh, and I was saying that actually. You asked the kids, and the kids really helped with some work today. And you said, what did you do in that time before you got started? And I was just hanging out with them, and we were just laughing and. We have a lot of joy together. So ways to, I won't be able to share it live with them, but I'll be able to, save it up. And then when we're all reconnecting, and then we'll share some of that with you guys, the things that make us laugh until my upper lip disappears and I look like Fire Marshal Bill and all those things.
Well, and sometimes it's funny that you should mention the lexicon and stuff like that because on our brand new Instagram page, the Best Nest LLC, I shared today the picture of the cake that you guys did because I wanted to talk today about our usual tradition is I make cakes for everybody, for the kids at least. I'm not much of a cake person in general, especially after the
right.
So I make cakes based on like the kids' fandoms. Like this year, I made Emma, or at least attempted to make Emma, a Doctor Who sonic screwdriver cake. Turned out okay. Last year, I made her a Star Trek cake, Starfleet uniform cake from the Discovery show that was new at the time. I've made Tommy a Rubik's Cube cake. I made Joey an igloo cake.
I loved the igloo with the penguins.
That was one of my best.
That was great.
Or sometimes it's just what they want. Like one year I made Joey a s'mores cheesecake. You got to get
a little flamethrower for that.
And the creme brulee torch, creme brulee. But this year, I shouldn't say but because poor Tommy, I guess he kind of got aced out of the fancy cake. But
I wanted my favorite bakery red velvet for him, and I got it.
And he does love red velvet. I mean, that's his. It's just the like I said, the tradition is I try to make something, but sometimes it just gets overwhelming and it does make a big mess. And I think sometimes you guys are a little relieved when
Emma's project today was helping. I said, I can't organize this pantry again. I'm getting angry and things were falling out and we have duplicate things and
5 bags of brown sugar, she said.
Emma and I keep organizing these things. Honestly, this is the pattern. I don't think any of you can deny this, and the boys don't maintain it. And then things get purchased again and again, and then you find 5 bags of brown sugar, and I think there are 21 little things of food coloring, and there are, anyway, we should do a sale.
She found 3 jars of mint extract.
It's absurd.
It is.
It's
I can't.
absurd.
Yeah, I've got no defense, no shields there. It's my quirk.
So it will be fun to hear about how you guys collaborate again, and then you can report back how you're able to maintain.
Mm.
At any rate, we made you a cake
Yes.
because it's our tradition and our love language, and it was from scratch, and we're proud of it.
And so I'm hoping I would love to hear from the audience out there, not only what kind of hard-hitting content you want from the Best Nest going forward, but I'd love to hear about some of your family traditions. I mean,
Yeah.
you were
What's your love
kind of
language?
where
What's a tradition?
it's kind of where we led into this was, you had fun just chatting with the kids or and watching TV and stuff.
God, I
because
love our
that
kids.
is one of the things that we do. It's just those quiet moments of just being together, and in a world where we're always on phones and we're always stressed out, and sometimes it's nice to just kind of have that moment.
Oh, yeah. It's just like I used to spend hours talking with my dad every day, certainly every evening. And so even though I lost him so young, you just turned 43.
Mhm.
He passed at 43. I'm moving to my island. I mean, there's a lot going on here, right? But as I savor those moments, and I always have, not just knowing I'm about to relocate, I love those just, and that would often be the first day of our vacation on the island.
Mm.
We would be playing some music and just cracking up, and, we don't even have television there. We don't need it. And just laughing and talking with each other. And, I'm glad that I did not waste the time I had with my dad. And we were talking about this to and from tennis the other day.
Mhm.
And there's been tragedy, there's been pain, there's been a lot, but we don't take things for granted. And I'm proud of that. And I don't think we have, since we've been a family. And especially in preparing for this transition, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we've been savoring the moments.
Yes, well, that is one thing I safely can say is we have always been we recognize our privilege and our
We're blessed.
yeah,
I mean-
we're grateful for what we have, and it's sometimes I think sometimes we forget to be like surface grateful because we've got stress going on and all that stuff, but that never really leaves us. I'm not explaining that very well. We may forget to I don't even know where I'm going with that, but at our core we have never really forgotten how glad we are to be with each other and to be with the kids and all of that stuff. So
I mean, we're trying to organize ourselves out of the pantry. Diana understands. We have a mess. Not everything's perfect, but we have focused more on our relationships than on appearances.
for sure.
And we've focused on the message of things and the togetherness over stuff. And I think those are important things, and we know what makes us happy. That's another thing. A lot of us do know. We know, and therefore we are. So I guess if I'm asking people out there, what maybe is your favorite cake? What are some or your favorite thing for your birthday? What are traditions that you have with your friends and family where you share with each other and express love? At traditions you look forward to.
What are your love languages?
Yeah, what are your love languages? Like giving me rubbins and stretching my neck out, and those types of things that we do for each other. Making coffee. giving the cats their treats and, but how do we stay connected with each other, and what things do you do? I'm interested. I like to know. We've built some, new traditions over the years, especially because I'm the stepmother and second wife, and the kids have really four parents who love them dearly, and two distinct households, which they're blessed with, but it's also,
Can be a
it's
challenge.
a lot.
I
It's a
know.
lot.
I've got to
Yeah.
imagine we've got some other blended families out there,
Right.
and it can be a challenge. So we have, since we've been together, we've had to adapt and improvise and overcome, as they say. We because of our schedules, when we were still working like 7 on 7 off, we generally did not get them for Christmas, because for several years, because we felt it would be too much of a disruption
Hmm.
to just keep going back and forth for a day, this year and all that stuff. So we came up with the idea of having second Christmas,
Hmm.
instead of we may not get it on the day or what have you, but then we went
We
all out
weren't
again.
ripping them and running them all around
Right.
town, and
We would
we
have
were just
them
working for, we were working anyway, so.
we'd have them come over, and then we would wait until they go to bed the night after they came over, and we'd put all the presents out just like regular Christmas morning. So we've made our own traditions, we've adapted, we've overcome a lot of challenges, because that's what life is. That's what we're trying to teach the kids. Adulting is hard. Adulting, this was opportunity never rarely comes at the perfect moment.
Right.
If this was, well, I don't even want to say if it was 4 years from now, because it's another 4 years of burning out and current patterns and things like that. So this isn't maybe the perfect situation, but we're going to make it work.
I hear Tommy laughing right now, and I'm
Oh,
jealous,
yeah,
and I
he's-
want to go up and know what's so funny.
I was thinking that same thing.
We don't have to force an hour here.
No, I mean it's for one thing. I do want, one thing I am excited about. I will say this, adapting and all that stuff is. Oftentimes, I just want to spend as much time with you as I can on the day to day. Even before this move. And so, even if it's just sitting in the couch and stuff like that, we're together, we're present with each other and all that stuff. And so not having that is an opportunity, because we also love, this kind of came out with some of the talks and things like that. We love to have discussion and debate with the kids. We have 3
Oh, yeah.
fully realized people up there. They each have their own distinct value equations, and they have their own philosophies, and they have thoughts on things. And so we get into just some fantastic debates about politics and media and what the best Star Trek is, and all these things, and they're very passionate about it, and
They're so passionate.
I want
It's
to
a good
foster
time.
that. So
Yeah.
one thing we did way back, we kind of put all of our stuff together, is we did a watch or a rewatch for me of the reboot of Battlestar Galactica from 2005. That has a lot of very philosophical questions and moral questions, and they're not. It talks. There's a lot of gray area, and we would have family debates after each episode.
And it was so exciting for me because, first of all, anyone that knows Kurt Becker, he looked a lot like Edward
Your
James.
dad.
Yeah, my dad. He looked a lot like Edward James Olmos. And his character, they had a very similar nature and character. So it was like watching my dad. And then I said I would spend hours talking with my dad every evening. I was an only child. He was my best friend. And, this whole Alexa thing I've got going on here, because I kind of married my dad in a good way. But a lot of the lessons were the things that we'd be talking about, and I wanted him to know, in my late teens, I wanted him to know, I knew he spent a lot of time with me. He was an offset printing press mechanic. He would do a lot of side jobs, but he always made sure I felt he had time for me. And so I wanted him to know, you made me a good person, Dad. You're getting return on investment. And then I would come through, or, it would be similar to like we have with the kids. And a topic would come up and he'd say, well, yes, but. And I'd be like, ugh. And it would always come down to, it's in real life, we don't read the book. It's not black and white. Or what about this and what about this? And so the themes in Battlestar were so similar to things I would discuss. I mean, we weren't, off on a starship and, but at any rate, they were very similar themes. And so here it was a character very much like my father to me, so it was very comforting, and I believe a very well done, acted, produced show. And then we had these themes to discuss with our kids, just like I used to with my dad. And it was a lot of my character, came from those discussions, and there was a lot of growth, I think, in all of us as individuals around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I took over on that, but
No,
I mean, again, it was so. Incredibly comforting for me because that's what I had with my parent figure at those same ages, and it was a beautiful way to, I don't know, it kind of created an outline for that. It was great.
And so one of the things we hope to do is revisit a lot of that. I've talked with Tommy about doing a podcast about that because it was middle schoolish for them. Maybe when Emma was a freshman. It's been
early high school.
It's been a few years now, hasn't it?
Early high school for them, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyway,
time flies.
It's been
whatever.
a few years, and it's been long enough that if you haven't watched them like 5 times like I have, then especially since Tommy has gotten a lot more involved in thinking about politics and governing and all that stuff. So, and of course he has some distinct views about that. But it'll be interesting to see through the lens of his generation with his insight, because as far as a lot of the theory behind politics and governance, I'm not embarrassed to admit, he's head and shoulders above me on political theory and stuff like that.
Actually, they all are.
Yeah.
And we're not complete dodos, but
no, I mean, we pay attention, we stay engaged, but that's just how forward they are about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really interested to see his thoughts on how the values and the judgments and all that stuff in Battlestar affect him now, even with the context of having seen it once before and having had these conversations before.
Well, I'm gonna have to tune in,
just revisiting that. So we're looking at doing a podcast about that. Emma, I have been able to turn into quite a big Star Trek fan.
Me too,
a lot
actually.
of sci-fi in general.
Yeah. Well,
I know.
What have the last few months been? I actually know which one I'm watching.
I know.
And request them, and even I'll get you on some
you
jokes.
Even make a Four Lights joke from time to time. There was one reference you made the other day that really blew my doors off. I can't remember offhand what it was, but it was like, wow, you really are paying attention to the Star Trek. And one of her passions is she gets very frustrated because
Emma.
Yeah. Sorry. A lot of people in her generation and my generation, we there's a lot of that kind of toxic fandom thing that she runs into a lot, and it's like, why can't you just enjoy the thing? When a new Star Trek comes out, it's like, it's not real Star Trek. And I know we see that in Star Wars, and we see that I to a degree. I even think in like Marvel. I know there was a big schism between like, if you were a comic book Avengers person, you didn't want to play with the movie Avengers person because you're not a real fan. You're not.
Well, this goes into social psychology, all that other stuff then we end up talking about.
And so she wants to talk a lot about generational differences in fandom and themes that come up in different generations of Star Trek, no pun intended. And how maybe things are different between, how maybe a similar theme was handled in the original series as compared to Next Generation, as compared to maybe Voyager or Discovery, or maybe even some Lower Decks or stuff. So I mean,
how can you not love Lower Decks? That is a riot.
Yeah, I
If you
mean,
don't mind cursing, and I love it, actually.
they bleep out most of it though.
No, they let her fly.
Well,
We'll
they
have
bleep
to
out some of
rewatch
it.
now.
Because that was the thing is that they were
It's
inconsistent with it.
hilarious.
They were inconsistent with it. But anyway,
Sorry.
yeah, it's a good show. Not sponsored, unless you got CBS, Viacom, Paramount. Anybody? Anyway, so and Joey wants to talk about video games, and I was even thinking about starting one of those Twitch streams because they always when I get a glass of whiskey and start doing some Pokemon, they like to make fun of that. So I'm excited to explore some of the creative stuff a little bit more. Just because I'm gonna have to fill my time with something.
He's going to be fine. Nobody be fooled. This is what's going to happen. Every single night, or when he is not at work, he and the kids are going to have the volume of the TV or the game on Super Blast. And our girl cat, Olive, is going to be looking at them like, again? And the other cats are going to be going crazy, like parkour around the house and, jumping off the walls. And you're going to be throwing stuff around. And everyone's going to be, my boys are going to be sitting around with one pant leg up and one sock on and one sock halfway in the couch. And
you gotta have balance. Sometimes you gotta.
It's okay. But don't leave the sock shoved in the couch. Thank you. It won't matter. I'm going to be in my own little space with my little diffuser, and it's going to smell nice, and I won't have socks on my couch.
You're going to miss those socks on your couch. You're going to wake up one morning and say, boy, I really wish I could dig down into the couch cushion and pull up a nasty old sock.
I'm going to miss things. I'm not going to miss that. I'm going to miss that chuckle. I'm already missing, what the kids' laughter and all that, but yeah, they're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be like, and then eventually, like when we traveled, Emma's gonna be here and she's gonna be like, I need Kelly to balance this out because with Dad and Tommy and Joey, it's the same person at a different point on the timeline, and I need an ally.
That was San Diego. I remember that vividly.
She was like, I'm not going anywhere again without Kelly because I was at the conference.
Because it's true. I mean, we are largely...
the force is strong.
Yeah, there are 3 points in the timeline. I can't argue with that.
Right.
Jeannie mentioned throwing you some good wishes, wishing you all the best in your new position. Hope to see you up and running. The best nest from Beaver Island soon. We'll try and keep Mike out of trouble.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm excited about that.
That's
a new tech thing. I'll have to figure out how to get the Zoom running live here so that we can still do some live stuff. We're gonna probably pivot more toward recorded stuff, which is why I'm still throwing the call out there. What kind of stuff? We're always gonna want to know how we can help. Whether you are somebody who is dealing with long distance relationship, whether it's you're learning new things, whether you're just stressed, whether you're trying to get back with better breathing or better nutrition and exercise and mindfulness and self-care and meditation. And, we want to explore a lot of that stuff. And we still want to do some of this. Sometimes it's just fun to be live and interactive.
Right. So, but I don't want to make it seem like we think people want to tune in just to hear us.
Well, no, they just want to hear me.
Well, right. Of course, naturally. No, we want to be useful and we want to bring content and laughter. I mean,
yes.
Wherever I practice, it's always been infused. So
the most gratifying thing is when we can create something that has brought somebody a little bit of joy, especially in this day and age. I mean, I don't care where you fall on any spectrum. This is a rough time right now.
Right.
This is, there's a lot of strife. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of this is the
division
that
there's a lot
supposed apocryphal thing about was it a Japanese curse that may you live in interesting times?
Oh.
And it's not meant to be interesting and good. It's meant to be, boy, this is one for the history books. And I think this is that time, honestly. I mean, we're seeing stuff we've never seen before. If nothing else, with this pandemic, it's been quite a ride. And so if we can be that light for even one person a week, or one
Right.
person who watches the show, then that's what we want. That's what we want out of life.
Even if they're trying and it's messy. It's messy for them, so it's okay that it's messy for me. Let's all just keep trying anyway. That's kind of where we are right now,
Oh yeah, and
we
I
find
think
comfort in that.
I think a lot of times, and I think we're seeing that with so many different things. We have this expectation that everybody should be perfect. Every life should be perfect. You should have that. Speaking of Instagram, you should have that influencer scene in your house, and your linens, or you've done the Pinterest thing where you've made the cake and all that. It's beautiful. And
I
then
said, we haven't spent much time on those appearances.
and then it comes out and it's like half melted demon dog kind of thing.
Actually, those have happened here.
Oh,
I wish the
the
Jello
Jello
world.
Yes, the planet cake and the yeah.
Linda, I have been wondering about that calendar, so I will message you once. I think I'm going to start with a P.O. box or my address here, and then my husband's going to visit often, so I'm looking forward to the calendar. Thank you for remembering. Anyway.
So we get caught up in that expectation of perfection, and especially I think there are a lot of medical YouTube and stuff like that I'm the expert, I know what I'm talking about, I have it all together. And I think people can get kind of intimidated by that. I mean, I know
Right.
that there's been research that that it's not good to have that kind of hierarchy, but where I'm the clinician and you're the patient and you do what I say. And I think it's good to be a role model that life can be messy. And
Thank goodness.
not even the experts don't always know what we're doing, and we screw
Or
up.
we
and,
know and still
Yeah, I mean, again,
struggle.
that was kind of the genesis
just
of this.
keep
where
hopping back up on the horse.
We've got to fight against our bad habits and our demons and everything else, and take flight to our best life.
Yep.
So-
Lessons are taught until they're learned. I am working. Working.
So, not to belabor the point too much,
Y'all tune in to hear him, though, right?
high quality content right there, high quality original content. We'll throw it out for one more round of if anybody has anything on their mind, any questions or anything like that. Be happy to field those. One thing I am kind of excited about. Will you hand me the mug real quick?
This?
Nope. Yeah.
I just want my cherries.
Did some prototyping not long ago, and we have some of these cool, I think they're cool because I made it. We've got Fight to Flight coffee mugs, and also we're now able to start offering some t-shirts because the pandemic has... You good over there?
Well, I didn't want to be that person taking a sip on camera, so I've just left my shoulder. And then I have cherries as ice cubes, and everything just splashed up my nose. So I'm taking care of that.
And she's back. So looking to get some of that stuff going. Just because we want to share. Again, we want to share the message of it's okay to fight because you've got to take flight. With everybody, and we would love to have that inspiration for people if people are willing to be inspired by it.
Yes. I'll never. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
All right. So, Kelly, like I said, we're looking to wrap this up here. So, what are some final thoughts as we start wrapping up this season, this phase, this chapter, and starting to look ahead to being an island girl, as John would say?
More than anything, just the events of my life so far and that have brought me here. There has been so much amazing connection with other people, and I feel I've been able to do some of the best work of my life, and I owe it to people for letting me in and trusting me, and also for you letting me in, and the kids in all these years. And as we're learning to keep picking ourselves back up, there are things I'm so incredibly proud of, and there are things that still haunt me. And I want to, and I won't go into great detail, but I want to know that I can rise up out of it and finally learn some lessons and balance, and the day to day making the right decisions to maintain balance to prevent burnout, moral injury. I don't want to ruin all the goodness with the things that still haunt me. And that's probably the most present thing on my mind. I want to start anew and do good things, but not overcommit myself and burn out where I can't enjoy the trees and the lake and my walks and cooking. I want to continue to connect professionally and personally, but also stop being so hard on myself, because I create this impossible situation, and that is what has me most fatigued and sad, in the midst of it. So I'm hoping to share, especially as I do some recordings or, kind of updates, and appreciate all of the good people who've been around for so long. I'm hoping to share some of my own journey with that, because that's what's most present on my mind. I feel like, oh, it's too bad that all this great stuff that happened is tarnished by some things of my own imbalance, and that I want to know that you're never too old to find that balance, and never too old to pick yourself up and be whole again.
So Melissa mentions that she's sorry she didn't get to see you before you left. She loved working with you, and you will definitely be missed, and she wishes you the best in your new adventure.
Thank you. That means very much to me. I've really loved my team, and especially the PAs on the surgery side have been amazing, and very supportive and wonderful for me as a clinician, but also for a patient. So I'm going to miss those faces very, very much. Thank you.
So for my part, something that occurs to me, I know we've kind of touched on it in other ways, but it occurs to me that, I mean, you're going up there to the island, and we've talked about, you have your own little space and all that stuff. You have, for the vast majority, or if not your whole adult life, you've had others to care for.
Yes.
Whether it's family members, whether it's me and the kids, whatever it is, you've been in that mode for a long time. And you are, and this is not any kind of dig or anything like that, you are the kind of person that caring for others always comes before caring for you. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is a really unique opportunity for you to just take care of you.
Yes.
And not put other people forward, and really focus on some of those things that, you said you were worried about, not letting the bad things come forward, but you're going to have time to, just like we've talked about, a lot of people talked about in the pandemic, well, I've got all this time off, so I'm going to learn a language, or I'm going to read all these books and all that stuff. You actually, you have that opportunity to focus on that, and focus on that self-care. And that actually, believe it or not, is exciting for me, because I think that I think that's going to help you thrive. And not having all those responsibilities.
Right. And that's why you're a good partner, because you want that.
I do. I mean, I because again, as John has astutely pointed out, at some point we're going to have a nest again.
Yes.
So on the other side of all this, I want both of us to have grown and improved. Well, I don't know.
I'm going to have Nest 2.0
yeah.
up there, and then hopefully we'll be able to blend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will keep my socks down here in Kalamazoo.
I swept 6 socks out from under the couch today that I know were clean. And he does like all the laundry and all the folding. But he'll never just finish a job. Like all the socks just made it to the floor by where he did all this work, fixed the dryer, did 2 loads,
Well, because they didn't
folded
match.
them. But then you didn't find like the sock basket. They just stayed there, and then they got kicked under with all the cat hair. Anyway,
No, that's why it's so important to find a good partner, because
I'm the finisher.
I'm the starter and you're the closer. I mean, that
Right.
I am happy to get up and start doing stuff, but yeah,
I'll be paralyzed and overwhelmed, and
a lot of that little fine detail stuff, it just gets so tedious for me that I just kind of stop it, and then that's where you come in and you
right.
you complete me.
Oh my God. Rach, we love you too. Thank you.
Oh, so yeah, that's my big takeaway from all this, is that I think this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for both of us to explore some new things. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you to heal probably some things that have been hurting you for a great many years. And
Yeah.
what a great environment up there.
Yes.
So, so I think that's going to do it for the live show this week. We're getting ready to have some Taco Tuesday upstairs.
That's right. Healthy tacos.
And find out what was making the kids guffaw.
Yes,
so hard.
we hate to miss out.
So once again, as we end this season, thank you everybody who has watched any little bit of this and spent any of your mostly Tuesdays, sometimes Thursdays, whatever it is, spent any of your day hanging out with us and listen to us ramble on and be goobers and all that stuff. Means more than we could ever say. And
It really does.
If we have ever put a smile on your face, our job is done.
Right. That's the only goal, really.
So the only thing we would ask is if you would please, as I say on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, so that we can keep growing the Best Nest family and hopefully bring some joy to as many people as we can. That would be fantastic. We're still
very specifically on YouTube, so we can just call it that.
Still looking for those YouTube subscribers, so that right now you got to search for it and find the little pink background with the blue bird on it, designed by me. But no, again, the stuff that I want to continue to grow and get better and all that stuff, the creation stuff.
Right.
So, but yeah, look for that, or we can you can always post on our page here on Facebook, and we'll send you some links. I'll put a link up there at some point anyway. Find us on Instagram. Find us all these different places, so that we can keep sharing our message and our mess and picking ourselves back up.
Hi, Stephanie. Oh, gosh, I miss so many
Mission
people.
or more.
Oh.
Welcome in.
I miss so many people.
Really, thank you very much for stopping by. I know this is a busy night for for Stephanie, so thank you. Sean says goodbye and sends hugs. Monica, Doctor, our favorite PhD.
Absolutely.
Hopefully things are going great. And again, just living her best life. Just talk about blowing the doors off.
Yeah,
life
killing
down
it.
there. Yeah, been great to watch her tours of the greater Pittsburgh area, running around and working on getting healthy, or healthier. I mean, she's already healthy.
Right.
Healthier than me anyway.
Working on her postdoc. Amazing.
So again, thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. We will be seeing you again soon. I'm not going to say that we're not going to be, obviously not going to be live next week. You head out on
Monday. It's less than a week now.
So if you have some spare time on Monday, please feel free to send your thoughts, your prayers, your positive vibes, your encouragement, your positive energy, your good karma. Send all that stuff out into the universe as Kelly embarks officially on her new adventure.
Yes, thank you, all of you, especially for being here, and those who love me despite my mess. Thank you.
So until we see each other again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, keep breathing lightly.
Just keep waking up and find a way to smile. I love it. And I want to hear more about it. What's making you smile? What are your traditions, like we talked about?
Yes, share that on our Facebook
I
page.
love, 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 and miss so many people already. So anyone I can see here, even a name, I appreciate. So love you all. Thank you for letting me into your lives all these months, years, days, whatever. So
Take care, everybody. We love you.
we love you.